Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up, Nick. I've been saying that to myself more and more frequently recently, because there's so many times when I can observe something, see something, want to say something, share something, and if it's not asked for, wanted, then is it my place? And partly when I say that to myself, it's a practice of pulling back so completely and then eventually stepping back into more of a harmonious state where it's like I can actually plant a seed of, hey, I've got something. Would you like to hear it? From more neutrality, from more not secretly wanting to say it, but putting it in such a nice way that people can't help but say, of course I do. Um, because I'm seeing, especially around friends, some of the kids, there's behavior that seem what I would have called before abnormal, um, even autistic. But it's not that that's the case. It's that there's something there that wants to be recognized. I think a lot of it is the kids are trying to show us what our background environment is, our background defaults, our background patterns want to shift. And for myself, it's kind of like that whole quote from Gandhi, like, when a mother took a child to Gandhi and said, can you tell my son to stop eating sugar? And he's like, come back in 3 days. And she's like, comes back in 3 days, like, what had to happen? It's like, I had to stop eating sugar first. And for myself, there's some things that I know. Part of it is moving out of our background, non-native EMF, lack of sunshine. So actually finding more sunshine in the winter, actually stepping into a place which has lower EMF, not even just from extremely high to high or medium, but to actual low. And where can we find that? And I don't know yet how to actually shift the technology that we're using to that more. How to actually shift into a different way of being for myself where I can notice right now there's a fear of A, having another child, B, of actually growing the company because there's more confusion. There's more that I try to abdicate the throne. There's more anxiety. Every now and then it hits me, I'm like, I can't keep up with it all. I can't keep up with it all. Like that happened to me yesterday. And I just needed to get a few things done in the physical 3D world so I can actually be with family again. And then recognizing more and more how lucky we are. Sometimes we forget how lucky we are to be able to live life in this way, to be able to have these explorations, to have these times to think, to contemplate. And what a gift it is that I have a few hours every day, that I get to listen to the podcasts that I do, that I get to read the books that I do, that I have the support that I do, that I know that there are people on my side no matter what. There's trust and there's love. There's even financial resources that are there. And sometimes I forget how lucky I am, and I can only look at the places where it still isn't as smooth, whether it's with the banking system, whether it's with having trouble with finding the appropriate level of childcare, other things like that. And then coming back to the theme of this, which is just shut up, just shut up. How many times have I spent life trying to rescue someone else, save someone else? The message that came through my last ceremony was there's no one and nothing to save, nothing to save. As distinct from actually using that to dive into me. Where is this a reflection of me? Where is this a reflection of me? And this is still embracing the radical selfishness of me. So that, not even so that, just being alive. Like, what is the purpose of being right now? And this doesn't mean it's a universal purpose, but the being for me. And part of it is the adventure of being alive. Part of it is the adventure of experiencing and letting go, because there's a part that says the more that I'm aware of, the more I'm like, oh my God, all these things could happen. The magnetic pole shifting, total change in the financial system, first contact with the extraterrestrials in the ways that it's more public, all of these things. But coming back to the nuance of just everyday living and not even being able to predict the next moment or the next moment or the next moment. And then remembering that every past memory is just from a context. There's no objective, there's no unifying, there's no supreme memory that I know of. And even when I come to the point of thinking, I know that, I love that, like hearing about the Ascended Masters, they're still not all wise, all knowing, all being. And there's that joke, right? God says, get your own dust. And there's a piece of being able to see reality differently, the idea that space and time could be let go of, that anything you think can instantly manifest. And more when we're super clear and we say something into reality, we can recognize in the future when it's happened and be like, okay. And I can see that more and more, and that's the scary part about the abracadabra. So I say, so it is. And recognizing can come sooner and sooner as I get clearer on who I am. And partly sometimes It's the frustration of trying to explain something to someone I love so much that's so close that I'm trying to rush it out. And then it causes more confusion on both sides. And so even with these, I'm practicing the clarity of the words. And I'm recognizing that there's so many videos that aren't being watched, and that's okay, right? Part of it is letting them land where they're supposed to land, noticing what titles really resonate. Oh, how did I heal my asthma? Wow, that really resonated. That's the most popular video right now. Cool. How do I create more of that? How did I heal these patterns? And probably using that word, I'll probably create a video about healing on itself to let everyone know that I can see the dichotomy of what I'm saying, but I'm actually going to step into the dichotomy at this point in time because it's an access point. Recognizing that all of these are access points if we choose them consciously, and they're a trap if we choose them unconsciously. Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you. Ciao for now.